Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to class. We are going to start standing. Have a block nearby that you can grab, and then just find it's kind of a Tadasana, kind of a mountain pose, but I want it to be a little bit more relaxed than that. I want it to feel kind of like your normal stance. So I have my feet a little wider, I have my toes out just a little bit. The knees are soft. I'll put my book down for now. I want to do a reading. And maybe just rock a little forward, back. And then find the center of your feet, lift all of your toes. And then place them back down on your mat very purposefully. Bring the shoulders back into the back body. And then just find a mountain pose. Your hands can be down at your sides, they can be up here, wherever it feels good to you. What I would like is that you are feeling grounded from the feet up. So just feel that. And you are welcome to sway a little bit side to side. I really like that. Just be in your space here. And I'm going to read again from Mark Nepo's book. Which every time I open it, it blows me away. So this poem is called Utterly, Utterly. Like a tiger who climbs a tree, we aspire beyond ourselves. Like a note not wanting to leave the piano, we want the softest moments to last. Like a fish who works to ride the current, we struggle only to surrender. Being utterly ourselves, we discover our kinship to everything. So breathe that in. If you're comfortable, close your eyes and feel your body upright, grounded to the earth, through the legs, soft back of the knees, maybe it's just a gentle tone to the body, maybe a gentle lift of the chest, the hands resting wherever they might land. And notice if you tend to roll to the outsides of the feet or to the insides of the feet. And if you can, come to the center of your feet so that the outside and the inside feel weighted, the front and the back feel weighted. And take a nice deep breath in and let it out. And as you breathe in, imagine that the breath is coming from the earth itself. It's coming up through the legs, through the torso, up into the nose, filling the lungs. And as you exhale, imagine everything coming right back down again. Good. Two more, just like that. And last one. And then open the eyes and allow the hips to start just moving in a little bit of a circle. The knees are soft. You're just really shifting forward, side, back, and side on the feet. And you're getting a nice little curl or little circle of the hips. And switch directions. Find your breath. Smile. And then make that circle smaller and smaller and smaller. And imagine this spiral going around your body. And then make the circle imperceptible or still, but still feel the spiral going around your spine. Just some imagery here. And as that spiral goes from the tailbone up through the spine, all the way to the base of the neck. And then if your eyes are closed, open your eyes, inhale, reach up. Your hands come to your heart. You come into a little squat. You watch those knees and then release. Inhale, take it up. Exhale down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down. Just two more. Inhale up. Exhale it down. Last one. And exhale. From this squat, interlace the hands and reach up. Just stretch. Don't come into a squat, but soften the knees and curl in toward your spine. And then straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, curl it in. Good. One more. Inhale. And exhale, curl. And then just let it go and shake it out. And I'm going to take out off this big, baggy, yummy sweater that's so comfy. And roll your shoulders. Roll your body. And then still that little bit of a wide stance. We're going to do breath of joy. We've done this before, but I want us to get nice and warmed up from this standing position. So if you remember breath of joy, it's an inhale, 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 exhale, nice bent knees. Okay, so roll the shoulders when you're ready. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Two more. This one, just hang, bent knees, belly toned. Your arms can swing, they can roll. Maybe your fingertips come to the floor, your feet are on the floor, your knees are bent. Isometrically draw the heels of your feet in toward each other. Press the toes out away from each other. Start to fire up the back of the legs. And then neutralize the spine. Take your hands to your knees and lift up and stand up and shake it out. Good. Grab your block, grab your strap. You're going to take that block between your legs. You're going to open up your strap and just throw it over your left shoulder. So mirroring here, just throw it over your left shoulder. Leave it there. You may or may not want it. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, turn the palms backwards so they're facing the back wall, and bring the palms to your back. Okay, so just like that. And then draw the elbows toward your ears. Now, not everybody's shoulders are going to be able to do that, but I want you to draw the shoulders or the elbows toward your ears. Lift up your chest, kind of cradle your head, just look up a little bit. And come to neutral. Leave your left arm where it is. Take the right arm up. Take it out to the side. Internally rotate that arm. Bend the elbow and just reach behind you until you can feel your fingers or see them on the other side of your waist. Draw the chest up. Draw the elbow toward the ear. Breathe. And then grab a hold of your strap behind you. Walk the fingers up and down until either the fingers actually touch or you're just holding on to your strap. Now, zero strain here. By the way, the block is just keeping those legs active. Still give that block a little bit of a squeeze. If your elbows don't do this, if your shoulders don't do this, maybe your arms are more at a diagonal and you're holding the strap, and that is just fine with me. So feel that strap or feel your fingers. Draw the belly in, hug your ear to your arm and your arm to your ear, and then let go and shake it out. And then maybe throw that strap on the other shoulder just in case you need it. One side is often different than the other, so you might notice. Inhale, take the arms up. Turn the palms backwards and pat yourself on the back. You showed up for yoga this morning, or you're watching and you're doing your yoga. So I'm super happy about all that. So you're going to leave, right? So here again, right? If the arms are up, the rib cage has to rise up to allow the shoulders to do that. So the chest rises, but we're not going to overarch our backs, right? We're going to tone in through the belly. We're going to kind of hug our ears if that's possible. And then you're going to leave your right arm where it is. Take the left arm out. Internally rotate the arm. Take it behind you and allow the fingers to come out the other side, right? We do that to find this little slidey action to draw the elbow behind the back. And then we hang out here for a moment. How does that feel? What's happening to the body? Did I tuck or lift my chin, or can I keep it neutral? And then same thing here as you start to walk yourself up and down your back, maybe you can feel your fingers and maybe not. Maybe you're just going to grab the strap because you're not quite warmed up, or you've never been able to touch fingers because of the way your shoulders are built. So smile here and don't, the goal is not the fingers, right? The goal is this stretch of tricep on one side, deltoid, maybe bicep on the other side, and staying upright. Good, release, whoo, release, whoosh. Make the whoo sound and shake that out. Go ahead and drop your strap for now. Throw it away. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, pat yourself on the back. Lift your chest, maybe look up a little bit of squeeze to the block. Don't overdo. And then take it up. Leave your left elbow where it is. Take the right arm out. Internal rotation to get that arm back and behind you, and just see where the fingers are. Notice what we're doing with our heads, right? It's so easy here to either tuck or lift to try to compensate. Don't grab the fingers. If you can touch fingers, I don't want you to hold on. I don't want that tension. I just want your fingers to touch. Big deep breath. Release your left arm, take it back and reach it behind you. See if you can either find elbows or walk both hands up. I don't do prayer hands here. I know some people can. It doesn't, my wrists don't like that. So I'm just going to see if I can bring both elbows behind me. Good. Slide them back down your back. Release. Take them both up. Take the palms behind you and pat yourself on the back. Check your posture. Super easy to overarch here. Good. Breathe. Leave your right arm where it is. Take the left arm out. I hope we're not doing the same side. It feels like we might be. If you are, just switch. Yeah, not sure. Anyway, because this feels like I just did this. I'm not sure. Good. Lift up. Find that. Ungrip your fingers if you happen to be touching them. And breathe. Take the right arm out, internal rotation. Reach them behind. You're either hand to elbow or you're walking them up your back just to see where you can go with them. And breathe. And slide them down, release. Whew. Good. Take that block out from your legs. Shake those out. Take your feet just a little wider. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, left hand down, right arm over. Big stretch here. Ground your feet. Think about what we did right at the beginning. And then take the right palm and turn it up toward the ceiling. Don't let the head hang down. Keep it closer to your arm and reach up. Exhale, other side. Your right arm goes down the thigh. The left arm goes over. The chest stays open here. And then turn your palm up. Big deep breath. And come on up. Release that. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, come on down to your heart. Come into a little squat. Shake out those legs. Shake out those hips. Roll the shoulders back. Now, imagine, let me turn sideways. Imagine your thumbs right at your chest, right at the center of your chest. And let your thumbs lift your chest up, right? Like you're pulling the skin of your chest up a little bit as you sink down into the squat. And then release the hands and take them out into chair pose. Sitting back in your feet, making sure the knees feel safe, low belly toned. Hold on to a little beach ball between the arms. And then just take the left arm back and breathe. Come out of squat if that's too much. Take the left arm up, bring the right arm back. Take the right arm up, take both arms back, straighten the legs as if you were going to dive into a swimming pool, only halfway down. Pull the shoulders back, find your breath, bend the knees, chair pose, left arm back, left arm up, right arm back, right arm up, both arms back, lean forward like you're going to dive, straighten the legs, keep the back of the knees soft. Imagine squeezing the shoulder blades together. Bend the knees, hands forward, arms forward, stand all the way up. Exhale, whew, and let it go. Shake it out, everybody. All right, so we're starting to get warmed up. We're going to do a march in place. So I've been reading, we've played with dynamic movement before, dynamic warm up, doing a little bit more of that. Just start to march in place. Why is this important, right? We get these muscles warmed up. We get the joints warmed up, right? We start to feel our bodies. Just march. Start to swing the arms and then let it settle down. Now you're going to do knee to opposite elbow. Don't go so fast that you don't have balance. So when you're ready, just elbow to knee, elbow to knee. Yep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, 10. And pause. We got one more set here. We're going to do elbow to same side knee. When you're ready, inhale up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And shake that out. Find a mountain-ish pose. You can be slightly wider if that feels good to you. Roll the shoulders back, take your hands to your hips, right? Remember that Superman, Superwoman pose. So look up, look out, lift the chest, find your breath. And you're gonna lift your right leg and see if you can hold. So balance work, imagine if we were walking and we had to do that in slow motion. So just one leg, lift, tap, lift, yep, and lift. Last one, lift and down. Right, so you think about that, something we take for granted, we walk. What if you had to do it in slow-mo? Where would your balance be? So let's just go to the other side. Mountain pose, hands to hips, Superwoman, Superman pose, and lift, lower, lift, lower. Pay attention to what's going on in the standing leg, everybody, right? On this side, my ankle's doing a little bit of a wobble. I'm fine with that. If you go too fast, you lose your sense of what's happening. Good, last one right here, lift and lower, shake that out. Final one here, balance pose, same side, elbow to knee. Excuse me, mountain pose, hands to hips, super pose, super gender neutral pose. And lift up, right? Engage the standing leg, bend the other one. See if you can bring your knee to your elbow. If not, if that's too high, go hand to elbow. Push your hand in, or hand to knee. Either push your hand into your knee, push your elbow into your knee, stand tall. See if you can let the other hand go. Balance pose. already. And release. Whoo, yeah, shake it out. And then switch sides. I'm like, this morning. Stand tall. Find the stability of the standing leg. When you're ready, lift the other knee. You're either here or you're here with your hand on your knee, or you're with your elbow on your knee. Try not to curl forward. Push your knee into your elbow, raise the other arm, and let go. Shake it out. Go wide, almost done with the warm up here. Toes turn out, the knees bend, and I am looking at my knees to my feet to see that they are in alignment. Biggest thing I see is this, right? The knees curl in, puts a lot of pressure on the medial, the inner knee. If your knees roll in, I would shorten pose and then just sit back more is what I do. But play with where are your feet, where are your knees, where are your hips? Can we draw the glutes under, but yet sit upright? Yeah. Inhale, reach up. Leave your left arm where it is. Take the right arm out to the side. Feel like a traffic cop right now. And then internal rotation. Bring it back behind you. It either sits at your opposite side waist or it walks up your back. Top arm bends. We come into cow face arms with a kind of horse stance, right? We're creating new things. And then maybe feel your shoulders. Do they feel relatively even? Is one rolled back? Is one rolled forward? They may be a little bit, but don't overdo. The chest is lifted, the belly is toned, and then straighten the legs. Release, left arm, right arm, shake them out. Last one, inhale. Exhale, come on down, find the squat first. Roll the inner knee to the outer knee. Roll the outer hip toward the inner sit bones, right? Little teeny tiny details. Breathe. Inhale, reach the arms up. Leave your right hand where it is. Take the left arm out. Internal rotation. Bring that arm behind you. It can stay at your side, a lot more comfortable for some folks, or bring it up the back. Bend and see if the fingers are anywhere near touching. And then play with your torso. Play with your squat. Find your breath. Stand up through those legs. Squeeze your cute little butt. Release those arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, turn your toes forward. Hinge at the hips. Either you're going to be halfway down and you know who you are there, or you're going to take your hands to the floor. Fingertips, blocks if you need them or want them. Find your breath. Good. Heel toe in, everybody. Just a little bit, just enough to have your legs underneath you. Hands to knees. Come on up. Shake everything out. And before we come down, again, you might want to finger to a wall. We're just going to flip one foot under, and so that we're at the top of the foot. And then we're going to try to draw a long line from the top of the toes through the ankle, through the thigh, up to the waist. Good. Release that. Switch sides. Just flipping your foot under or your toes under, and then find the line. Like there, I could hang out here and really I don't feel a whole lot of anything, but then I can lift up and feel the stretch from the ankle all the way up. Don't overdo. Breathe. Good. Shake that out, everybody. And let's come on to the front of your mat. We are going to be on our knee at some point. So if you would like your blanket or underneath your knee, just have that blanket accessible and have both of your blocks to the front of your mat. When you're ready, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come on down to your blocks. Find your breath. Little forward fold here, super, super easy. I want you to straighten the arms on your blocks. If you want to come up higher, that's okay. So straighten your arms and look up. I'm stepping back just a little. I want a little bit more balance between the ankle and the hip line. So I'm going to lift up. And then if it's okay for your back, exhale, bend the elbows and drop the head. Inhale, press up. Exhale, let go. Good, one more. Inhale, lift up, right? We hear this in flow classes, lift halfway up. Exhale it down. And then soften both knees and step back with your left leg. Come into a lunge. Lower your left knee and take a look at the right knee. So a couple things going on, right? Normally we do knee over ankle. And if you're having some knee issues, I want you to be more mindful here of that alignment. But if you're okay, I want you to, so left leg is back, left glute tones, and then walk your blocks forward and allow your knee to go past your ankle. Okay. So the blocks moving forward allows the body to lean forward without overstressing the joints. Breathe. Now, notice where you feel the stretch. For me, it is the front of the left leg, the quadricep, probably a little bit of the psoas, squeeze in through the low belly. So pubic bone to belly button. Hold your pose. And then come on out and straighten the front leg. Okay, any amount. You can slide the blocks back. Breathe. Point your front toes to stretch through the front ankle. And then as you exhale, bend the front knee again. You're going to walk the blocks forward again, if that is appropriate for you. I actually snugged my heel back a little bit to deepen the angle of my front knee and my front ankle. Please be mindful here. This is not for everybody, but it makes sense that if this knee has a certain range of motion and we quit doing that range of motion all the time, we're going to lose our ability to use the knee as it's designed. No pain, please. I know we got all kinds of knee stuff out there. And release, straighten the leg again. Maybe you walk the foot forward. Maybe you walk your blocks back. This time, flex your front foot. And imagine dragging your heel of your right leg back isometrically. Bend the knee, release it, slide the right leg back, slide the left foot forward. We're going to be here for a little bit, as you might be able to tell. So please take time to cushion your knee if you need to, okay? All right, so we start in our traditional, our alignment based, which is your ankle lined up with your knee lined up with the center line kind of your foot. Most people will say second and third toe, or third and fourth, depending on what your tendency is. So we start there. We engage the back glute. We find that. How's that feel? And then maybe we just walk the blocks up a little bit and allow the knee to go just a little past the ankle. Notice where you feel this, right? For me, sensation is fine, pain is not. So I have a little sensation in my left knee, which tends to be my knee, but it's not pain. It feels more stretchy, a little interesting, but zero pain. And I'm also feeling a big old stretch at the front of the right thigh. Good. As you exhale, straighten the front knee. Whew. Keep the toes planted. Maybe walk the blocks back and stretch out through the hamstring. When you're ready, bend that knee. Oh, yeah. Walk the blocks forward. If you're okay, you slide the heel back just a little bit. So now my knee is pretty much in line with my toes. I'm working the front ankle and the front knee. Breathe. And slide back, slide back, slide back this time. Allow the leg to rise or the foot to rise. Isometrically draw the heel back. Big deep breath. Bend the knee. Walk your blocks forward, move them out of the way. Flip your toes under, lift the right knee, step back to downward facing dog. Spread those fingers, everybody. Engage the upper shoulders and mid back, and bend one knee and then the other. And think about, right, what we just did, bringing that knee past the ankle, which we have to do if we get up out of a chair. We have to do it if we're walking up or down the stairs. So the next time your left foot is closer to the floor, your right knee bent, hold. Move the weight into the center of your hands, everybody. Breathe. And switch sides. Pressing through the right heel. It doesn't have to touch. Lifting the left heel, the knees bent. Release that. Inhale, tippy toes, come to plank pose. Fire up the legs. Move the sternum, the chest bone forward. And then lower your knees. Come on down to the floor. And pause for a moment. Allow your hands to rest. Allow your head to rest. And breathe. And then sway the hips side to side. Lengthen the legs and bend one knee toward so that the heel heads toward your glutes. And release. Bend the other knee. Squeeze it in, engage the hamstring. And release, go to the first side. Squeeze the hamstring, but press through the hips. Keep the hips down on the floor. And release, go to the other side. Whoo, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Both legs this time. Flex the feet. Push down through the pubic bone. See where the heels will go without compensating. For me, compensation is my behind wants to go up in the air. So I press down long. I keep the tailbone long, squeezing through those hamstrings and release. Just one more right here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring them in purposefully with awareness. And release. Nice job, everybody. While we're here, let's come on up to Sphinx pose and stretch out the front belly. If I just sway side to side like this, I can feel the stretch in my side belly. I don't overdo it, but what happens, right? We know this. The front body gets tighter, tighter, tighter. The back body gets looser, looser, looser. And all of a sudden we're a big curled up ball. So we got to resist that if we can. Come back to Sphinx pose. The palms are face down. The elbows press into the floor. The belly tones in. Maybe the feet, just the feet, lift off the floor. Now, you, I know some of you, if this is irritating to your back, you take those elbows out further. Breathe. And release that. Lower your torso. Push up. Push back into puppy stretch, not child's pose. Breathe. From puppy stretch to table pose to downward facing dog. Again, pedal it out. Take your feet wide. Walk your hands back. Come on up. Roll the shoulders. Ha, ha. Right? So it's like, woo, body feels good, right? You can play, you can feel things moving. I like that a lot. So we're still playing with this idea of dynamic movement or dynamic warm-up. Once you take your feet just a little wider, and you're gonna sway to one side, the back heel lifts, and then come to the other side. Keep the hands in close first. We're doing a minor twist here, moving the spine in all 6 directions. Breathe. Good. If you want, you're going to add a little arm movement. So you're going to reach and reach and reach. Good. Keep it going. Reach, reach, reach. Couple more. Don't forget to breathe. And last one. And then take the feet back toward mountain pose. Lift up. Get grounded. Close your eyes. And I just want you to see if you feel any different right now than you did when we started in mountain pose, grounded, stable, and breathe. And then open your eyes, shake it out. Come on back to the front of your mat. You are going to need your blocks. Maybe a blanket under your knees. Again, optional if you have a lot of cushion underneath you. So from the front of your mat, inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down. If your blocks are at medium level or lower, you probably can leave your hands there. You're going to step back with your right leg. You're going to lower that knee to the floor. And then you're going to take your left foot and walk it out just a little bit to the left and turn the toes even more to the left so that if you look, you've got a knee and foot alignment again, and you've got both blocks at the center of your, or just under your shoulders, just inside your shoulders. Now, this is a tricky pose, I think, because what do? This right hip, we just want it to drop to the floor. We want to be more flexible. I'm going to invite you to instead engage the right glute, the right hip, slight tuck of the pelvis, and keep the hips level. So if I drew a line across my sacrum, it's pretty much straight across. Good. Maybe some of you can lower your blocks and come a little bit lower. As soon as those hips go askew, I think you should come back up, right? Breathe. Some of you are here. Some of you are going to come down to elbow. This is a little trickier for me. I've got to resist allowing the left or the right hip to overly drop to the floor. Breathe. So what are we doing? Inner groin, left side, big stretch, right? Knee is slightly past ankle. I'm pressing my forearms into the blocks, and then maybe I lift my right knee, square the hips, lengthen the tailbone. Find your breath, everybody. Lower your knee. Put your hands on your blocks, lift up. Bring both hips back, straighten your front leg. It's gonna be at an angle. Okay. And bend that knee, slide that left leg back. We're coming back to the beginning. I'm gonna take my blocks up high. I'm gonna walk my right foot forward, right? And then I'm gonna walk the right foot out just a foot length or foot width or so, and turn my right toes out to the corner of my mat. And then I'm going to check out this side and see where the hips want to go. Bending into the hips, tucking the tailbone, engaging the left glute. This side tends to want to drop that left hip more. So I'm going to work that a little bit more. I'm going to resist this side overly dropping, tilting the sacrum, right? I'm going to try to keep it level. and pause and wait and see if that stretch will open up any with control. Low belly toned. One, you're here. Two, by the way, you could be way up here. I should have said that because for some, if your psoas and quads are super tight, this could be a seriously deep stretch, even up at high level. Otherwise, you're going to lower your blocks. Still, the hands are there. Still, we wait. My knee and my foot are facing the same direction. I'm going to play with the hips. For me, again, lifting the left side just ever so slightly. Maybe I'm going to give the elbows a try. And you can try these kinds of things, right? This brings this pose into a much deeper stretch and decide if you like it or not. If it's too much, you'll know halfway down if it's going to be a little too much today. And then flipping the toes under on the left, lifting the left knee, firing up the quadricep. Breathe, pressing through that heel. Lower the knee, everybody. Whew. Release, hands up. You're going to straighten the front leg. You can bring the toes back if you want. Find your breath. Bend the knee, slide the right knee back. Take both knees wide on your mat and come into a wide leg child's pose. Come on up. We got one more to add to this, okay? So please be mindful, be good yogis. Don't overdo, don't go too deep. Sabish? All right, come on up. Left leg forward, right foot back. We're starting at the beginning of where we were, right? At the very beginning of this little series. My left foot's going to walk out. My left toes are going to angle out so that my knee and my ankle can stay in the same direction, or my knee and my foot can stay in the same direction. I'm going to come on down on my blocks. You may want to start with hands on the blocks. Level out your hips. It's the funkiest little thing for me. Level the hips, tone the belly, bend your back leg. Oh, yeah. And breathe. Some of you are going to stay here. Some of you, right knee bent, your left arm reaches back. You find your foot. You bring that foot toward your glute to stretch a little more. Some of you are going to come to elbows and do the same thing. I know. Don't shake your head at me. Hang in there. You do your yoga, right? If this is just no way, Jose, don't do it. Don't worry about it. It's not about that. It's about you exploring your body. So release, hands back to blocks. Whoo, straighten the front leg, even though it's at a little bit of an angle. And release, slide your left leg back. I promise this is our last one. Promise. Right leg forward first, find the lunge. Walk the foot out, walk the toes out. Maybe you're up here nice and high, being sweet to yourself. The hips level out. Do you see that? They level out. And then maybe you bend your knee and you just explore the stretch of the quad, the engagement of the hamstring. Maybe you lower the blocks but stay high. You never want to rush your stretches, right? You never want to go deep all the way 100% right away. Maybe you give the elbows a try. Right. Oh, sorry. So if you're in your hand at your hands, right? Grab your foot. Or you're coming to your elbows. Whew, reach back. This side tighter. Interesting information. Breathe. I know my knee people out there are going, is she nuts or what? And release everybody. Whew. Come back into your hands, straighten your front leg. Whoo, stretch. Slide the right leg back. Move your blocks out of the way and come down to your hips. Come down to your arms and just release. Just relax, release, relax. So this area doesn't get stretched a ton. So when we do stretch it, you might feel it. And for my type A's out there, you might be going a little too much. So, right, we can just chill for a moment. Roll over to your right side. Bend your bottom leg. Your top leg, toes point forward. Just lift and hold. Breathe. Now press the heel straight toward whatever's on that side of you, as if you could touch it, right? Whether it's a piece of furniture or the wall, just reach it. See if you can level your hips out and then turn the toes up. Lift that leg up, straighten the knee if you can. You can reach for the leg and hold. You could reach for your big toe and hold and breathe. Don't overreach. You can be here just so nice. You can be behind the knee for feedback. And then bend the knee and release and just pause. Good. When you're ready, roll over to the other side. Coming down, supporting your head. Bottom knee is bent. Top knee straightens. The toes point forward or slightly down. And then lift, to your level without moving the toes up. Try to level the hips side to side. Just breathe. Press down through the bottom leg, get your grounding, and then turn the toes up. Lift the leg up, knee as straight as you can for you. Right for you might be bent, or it might be lower and straight. And then reach where it makes sense for you to reach and hold. That's almost too far for me. I'm not straining, but it's a deeper reach than my left side. Right leg is usually tighter. So big deep breath. Release. Oh, bend the knees. Nice job. Press up. Oh, and come to table pose. We're not here for long. From table pose to downward facing dog, you can move your blanket out of the way if you want. Take your feet a little wider on your mat in down dog, and then look at your feet and almost pigeon toe. So bring your big toes in more than your heels and just pause. And then level the feet so that they are parallel. And then bring the heels in and the toes out and just pause. Level the feet, they're parallel to each other. Go wide on your yoga mat. Walk the hands back. Bend your knees, hands to knees. Come on up, everybody. Whew. Nice job. Take it out. Bring your blocks to the front of your mat. We're almost done. We're almost done. All right. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to blocks. Ideally, you go down second level or stay high. And then soften the knees and step back. Right leg. It's not as far back as my normal lunge. The heel drops in, the toes are out, and then begin to straighten the front leg. And think about this pose in that we want to level the hips, So which leg has to maybe come back a little bit? Which leg has to come forward a little bit? I like playing with the blocks. So you might want to walk your blocks forward, allow the torso to come down a little bit more toward the leg, no rounding. Play with the hips, draw the front heel back isometrically, and then just see if you can fire up the quad a little bit. Maybe you flex the foot. Maybe you just press into the big toe or the ball mound of the foot. Bend your front knee. Listen up. You're going to walk the blocks forward. You're going to push off your standing leg and lift the other. You can point the toes, flex them. Breathe and release. Just set that foot down. You're in that halfway up, halfway down forward fold. Bring the blocks back in and step back left leg. Same thing, the heel drops a little bit. If it works for you, you can keep that leg straight, by the way. You're going to straighten your front leg. I always tend to notice if my ankle stays stable when I'm doing these types of poses. The hips level out. The torso gets long. Maybe walk the blocks forward. Breathe. And then imagine dragging the front leg back a little bit more. Press into the big toe mound. Bend your front knee. This is always optional. Walk your blocks forward. Push off the standing leg to come into this variation of Warrior 3. And then lower the leg. You're halfway up. Bend the knees, hands to knees, look up, and then stand up. And roll it out. Shake it out. We're almost done, everybody. I know you're almost done with the standing portion of class. You're probably going, yeah, I am almost done. So balance work, you might want to be near a wall or a piece of furniture, something that you can hang on to. You're going to get really tall here. We're going to find that grounding that we started class in. The chest is lifted, the lower belly is toned in. It's not tight, it's toned in. I'm going to shift to mirroring here my left leg, and I'm going to come back where we started. Hand to knee, other hand to hip. Check the standing leg, engage that hip. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to take the hand under the knee and diagonally kick it out. 3, you're going to grab instead your big toe. Lift up. And breathe and smile. And let go of your toe if you start to fall. This leg, this lengthened leg, can be any amount of bent. I would rather see a bent leg than a bent torso. And let go. Shake it out. Stand tall, ground yourself. Find your breath. Same thing, other side. When you're ready, you're going to stand into your right leg, my left, your right. Bend the knee, hand to knee. You might hang out right here. If you do, by the way, I like pushing knee to hand, hand to knee. Or you're going to grab under and just take it out to the side and see if you can extend. Or you're going to grab shin or toe. Oof. And breathe. And let go. And shake it out. And then stand and circle hips. And maybe bend the knees and circle those too. And circle the other way. And before we come to the ground, literally ground through your feet. And feel the breath move up through your feet. And then back down again. Good. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And come up to your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down, everybody. Downward facing dog. Plant your hands. Find your breath. Notice. Inhale to your tippy toes. Exhale down. You're going to need one block, maybe your strap. So have those nearby. And then just come to a seat for a moment. Because I almost forgot. I wanted to do one thing before we got all the way to the floor. And I'm starting to cool down quickly. So we played a ton with cow face arms. And I just want to move into variations of cow face legs. Since we were there and we did work things a lot, cow face legs is a really nice hip stretch. However, not for everybody. So alternative to cow face, figure 4, seated. Okay, love this. I would be here. It's just fine. So let's all start here. Actually, let's just start here. I think this will work. Have a block where you can grab it. So start in your figure 4, wherever you are, and lean back and just rock side to side. Take a deep breath. Your chest is tall, your shoulders are back, you're happy. Come back to center and cross your knees. Just cross your knees like you're sitting, chilling, relaxing, and rock a little. Just rock. And then take the knees to center and just see if you can separate your feet away from each other. Let's see if that'll work. And if that is working pretty good, maybe you go just a little wider and you see if that might work. And that's where the block is going to come into play. I might take that block up nice and high, put it underneath the bottom knee. I know it's a little hard to see with the dark pants. And hang out right here. Happy as can be. You might go lower with a block underneath. If knee on top of knee doesn't work, start to separate the knees. You can go wider, wider, wider with your bottom knee supported. Still having trouble? I would take that top, what would be your top leg, and just bring it in front of you and pause. If you know cow face, love cow face, not an issue for you, one knee stacks on top of the other. Whew, and we let them rest. I'm feeling a stretch for me on my top leg's hip. You might feel it there or somewhere else. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Whichever knee is on top, take your other side and bend and pat yourself on the back. You've made it almost all the way through class. Your other arm goes out to the side, it internally rotates. We come into cow face, arms touching or not touching. If you would like your strap here to hold on to, go ahead, or be really okay with just having the hands resting somewhere at the back of your body. And breathe, everyone. And just shake it all out. Good. Release the arms. Shake those out. You're going to lean back. Notice which knee is on top, okay? And then just straighten the legs out in front of you. And when you're ready, you're going to switch. So take the other leg. For me, this, if I'm mirroring for you all, that would be your left leg, and come into that seated figure 4. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to cross knees and hang out here. Rock a little. Maybe walk the feet away. Check that out. See if you can maintain a neutral spine, which means you're not rolling into your lower back. Still good. Yes, separate, 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 and drop the knees using the block wherever you need to. Maybe it's under here. Right. So we come into, there was an interesting delineation I read this morning between concentration and attention. And if we concentrate too much on all these little things, we will have trouble relaxing, right? Finding the ease in the pose. If we instead shift to attention and go, so this is a whole different stretch. I feel it in this leg, but not in the hip, more at the front of the hip. So a little bit of compression there, I think, a little tightness in the quad, right? What happens if I lean back? What happens if I do this? And then add the arms. So whichever knee is on top, the other side arm bends. We pat ourselves on the back. The arm reaches out to the side, internal rotation. We come into cow face pose. And breathe. That's it. Smile, relax, breathe. Maybe that can be our motto for today, right? Our mantra: smile, relax, breathe. Good. Release the arms, everyone. Lean back, undo the legs. Straighten them out. Give me one good solid Dandasana with the legs. So firing them back up. And then release that, shake them out. Grab both of your blocks. And if you have a blanket, I'd like for you to do something. We're going to do our Shavasana is going to, for the most part, be a restorative-ish Baddha Konasana. So I want you to take your blanket and open it up, kind of nice and wide, and then place it down on your mat so that half of it is on one side, half of it is on the other side. And then bring your feet into a super easy Baddha Konasana. You will need your blocks. So I'm going to just for now put one block under one thigh and one block under the other thigh. And then I'm going to take my blanket and wrap my feet up in a nice, tight little burrito. It looks like a little triangle here. So I've wrapped them up and then I've tucked the rest of it underneath my feet. So I don't know if you can see that. And it doesn't have to be a certain way. What I want is for your feet to be a bound Baddha Konasana and warm and snug. And then you're going to scoot the hips closer to the feet to come down onto your back. Whew. And then you're going to adjust your blocks. And I am going to beg you to come into the easiest, no effort Baddha Konasana that you can by bringing the blocks up higher than you normally would. If I go lower, it's still an easy pose, but I feel stretch. I don't really want to feel stretch. I want to feel completely chilled and loved and cared for, if that can be the case in a yoga pose. My hands resting on my belly, the shoulders soft and to either side of my body. The legs super heavy here. The feet cuddled and warm. The eyes closed. And see if you can find your grounding here. In the poem I read, the fish struggles through the current only to surrender. In Shavasana, or this version, or any version of Shavasana, we surrender. We no longer struggle, we surrender. Feel your breath. Try to let go. Soften even more. At any point here, if you would like to straighten your legs for the last few minutes of Shavasana, please do. Smile, relax, breathe. To bring your awareness back, move the blocks out as you bring the knees together. Maybe shake your feet out of your blanket and draw your knees to your chest. Allow your knees to roll to one side and press yourself up to a seated pose, everybody. Bring your hands to your heart and bow to your own inner awareness and smile, relax. and breathe. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming to class.